got to bring back some pretty fond memories 25 years ago today.
You bet. Right up here behind you was a podium. All the dignitaries were here. We probably had about 15 planes on the airstrip, had 10 buses. It was the usual breezy Eastern Washington, but it was a wonderful day.
It must be very heartwarming to see what has taken place in the last 25 years.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just rolled. You know, the early days were tough in that you really had to carve out your spot. You know, but once we got that done and the wine started, showing well, doing well, then it became a little easier.
And on anniversaries as today, who are some of the people that come into your mind that helped get you started and brought Columbia Crest to where they are today?
Oh gosh, well, Jack Kelly built the place. He built the St. Michel Winery as well, so he was a big deal. Ted Basler was around at that time. He was very much part of what was going on. Just a lot of people. Bob Waller was out here at the time. Leon Adams was here at the time. A lot of dignitaries. Just a whole bunch of people.
And how much credit does Kay Simon get for you being involved?
Kay Simon hired me. She interviewed me at the Tip Top Cafe in Healdsburg, and came up and gave me a job. So I owe Kay a lot. Yeah.
I think Ray and his team have done a great job of carrying on your tradition here.
Heck yeah. Ray's a great winemaker, and he's got a good team, behind him, as I did when I was here. He's got Juan doing the reds, he's got Keith doing the whites, and then Laura and Paula and Amy, and it's Reed. It's just a great team.
It was probably even more curious 25 years ago, but was there some raised eyebrows of putting this facility in the middle of the Horse Heaven Hills?
I don't know about raised eyebrows. I think that some people were always curious as to what it was, and they would stumble upon it, not expecting it out here. So that was always a funny occurrence when that would happen. But no, it's the right place for the winery. There's grapes out here. Horse Heaven's, I think, the second largest grape growing region we have now, behind the slope and out there, and it's the right place for the winery.
Think about 25 years ago when Columbia Crest started. There was only 19 wineries in Washington State, and there's 540 plus today. And I think that growth, not only of the winery itself, but the wine industry and the understanding that we have of the different appellations and the wine growing conditions in Washington has taken us to the next level. And that level is just being recognized as a premium wine region in the world.
It doesn't really seem possible as 25 years ago, but certainly as you see here at our tasting room, there's a lot more visitor traffic than there was 25 years ago. The industry in general is huge relative to what it was then, and I think it's really, there's a vibrancy now that reminds me of that time when all of us worked for the same company, it seemed like, but now it's a lot more in number, wineries in number.
Now, what was your role in getting Doug Gore to the Northwest?
Doug was my assistant winemaker at Chateau Saint Michel in Grandview. So that was, and so obviously we were interviewing lots of people from outside the state, and Doug was one of the applicants. So when it opened, it was called Chateau Saint Michel River Ridge. And I think in about our second year of operation there, someone in the marketing department, and you should ask Alan Shoup this question, actually, came up with the idea of a wine that was a second label that was maybe a little less expensive. And I recall that we made two, and I want to say it was a white Riesling and a pink Riesling, of all things. And then the brand just took off. And so I think the whole concept became the winery. And so Chateau Saint Michel River Ridge became Columbia Crest. I think you'd have to ask Alan about the marketing aspects of it, but I think the brand was wildly successful.
What do people think about building this centerpiece facility in the middle of nowhere?
Well, I think all of us were a bit surprised, but I won't claim to be a marketer of anything but my own wines. So, whatever. And it would be really interesting to know what the visitorship numbers are. But it is certainly a spectacular spot on the river, and it's really, really pretty. The only thing I'd add is that Chinook's also celebrating 25 years this summer, so that's fun. Yeah.
25 years ago today, what were you doing?
I was at this same place when it was being dedicated, and I came down as the farm writer to cover it and take a picture. And at the time, I was just in awestruck what they had done out here in the desert. Well, I think that day was. I didn't realize the historical significance of it until a few years later. This was the first winery that they had an architect build the thing, with a great tasting room. Everybody was in their garage or in a shed or something like that. And it was the first winery event that had a professional caterer. They had to come from Seattle. But today, we have a local caterer, and that's what's happened in the wine industry. We have wineries that are planned by architects instead of a back of a napkin, and this is the one that got us started, Columbia Crest.
Do people wonder what the heck they're doing in the middle of the Horse Heaven Hills by putting this here?
I did. I said, are you going to get any visitors, and stuff like that? This is not on any big highways, and of course I had my doubts, but you build it and they will come. I think they just improved over the years on everything. And of course, back then they had three kind of wines: a rosé, a white, and I don't even think I had a red then. It was a rosier rosé, and we didn't take too seriously of them until they started coming out with their Cabs and their Merlots, and then they became one of the premier Merlot producers in the world. So.